So, have you ever noticed yourself becoming fused with your romantic partner? And this sense of you're just losing yourself. You tend to prioritize them or their needs or their wants over your own. Maybe you are really judgmental of some of their behaviors that you deem inappropriate or don't agree with. Or do you tolerate? Maybe you tolerate some of their hurtful behavior towards you. And you tolerate it at all, or you just tolerate it too long. This really begins to fall into a codependent type of relationship. I know because I've dealt with this myself majority of my life. I just didn't realize it until I got older. And I've been working to heal it. So I want to show you the process that I've been using that is a healthy way to exist in a relationship. Because we all want love. We all deserve love. We all search for it. But the truth is, we really cannot find the relationship that we desire unless we're willing to see, take accountability, and work on our portion of it. We will just keep attracting this unhealthy type of relationship if we can't sit back, work on ourselves, acknowledge our things that we need to work on. We won't attract what we desire. So first I really had to sit down and get really clear on what I value in a relationship, or just what I value in general. Just what are Alyssa's things that she wants to live by, that it's just non-negotiable, right? So example, I really value authenticity. I really value respect, loyalty, honesty, integrity. I value a certain sense of freedom and adventure. But I also have a value for security and dependability, reliability. So I have to be able to respect that these are my values if I expect somebody else to respect them. So I have to be clear on what they are and learn to respect them within myself. I forgot this one. I also really value a balance too. Kind of like a calmness, spontaneous kind of behaviors I value too. I didn't always have that growing up, and I value that now. So that's kind of newer. Along with the balance, I didn't used to think of that as something I value, but as I kind of reflect back on certain important moments in my life or things that that meant something to me looking back, I definitely value a good balance, just in anything, kind of like everything in moderation. And I had to get really clear on those. So you have to get clear on your standards. So what do you want? So this, even if you need to write them down or just sit with yourself alone and just be honest with yourself. When you're in a relationship, ask yourself what pace feels good to you, or when you're entering in a relationship, this is what you're thinking to yourself in your mind, like what pace feels good for me at this point in my life. I guess it's really, for us codependents and just people, we don't have to put a label on it. Just people that tend to lose ourselves in a relationship. It could be more of a people pleaser kind of mentality, or just whatever. We abandon ourselves and our needs and our wants for someone else. And it's really kind of just shifting the focus from them to us. So ask yourself what is important to you instead of trying to figure out everything about them and then kind of mold to what they want, in a sense. Now, we don't always do this consciously. Sometimes it's unconscious, but it's still not very productive to a true, healthy, loving relationship. Because in a sense, it is a little bit manipulative. Because it's not truly authentic. And really understanding that the right person will respect these values, will respect these standards. They will actually appreciate them. They will appreciate the honesty, the vulnerability. They will see the true you. And then they can really love you for you. And you never have to doubt if they're loving you for the way you molded yourself or if they love you for you. Because if you show them the real you from the start and they love you anyway, there's no doubt. They love you. That was a realization I came to a few years ago. It's huge. And it's so simple, but a lot of us don't think of it that way. And so the right person will appreciate that, respect that, support you, and they'll do it without judgment or criticism or making you feel bad or wrong, because you're not. We're all humans, and we all have certain needs, wants, preferences, and that is okay. That is okay to want what you want, need what you need, but it's important that you communicate it clearly and be honest and respect that about yourself, and the right person will align with that. So that's another good question to ask yourself. Instead of focusing on that person when you're looking to enter into a relationship, so with the right person, you will feel aligned with them. It won't feel forced. It won't feel like you're changing your ways or giving things up to be what they need. Because ultimately, you shouldn't have to sacrifice everything about you and everything that you value to fit into this person's life or to fit into what they want. That's abandoning yourself. And that's not respecting yourself, and that's not gonna last. That's not sustainable. So it's really important to ask yourself, do they resonate with me? Instead of, do they like how I'm acting? So when you're thinking and you're thinking to yourself when you're meeting someone, change the shift. It's not about, are you doing something that they like? It's, do they resonate with me? Do they seem to align with me? How do I feel when I'm around them? Instead of, am I doing enough so that they'll choose me? Do you see the difference? When we ask ourselves questions that are more putting our needs at the forefront instead of making it about what the other person wants, because ultimately that's just a slippery slope anyway, because you have to be really careful with people that aren't really honest about what they want or even know themselves anyway. So the only thing you can really do and control and trust is how you present yourself and how you respect yourself and how you show up. That's really the only thing that you can control and trust in. So that should be the focus, especially when it's someone new coming into your life and you're out there, searching for your person, for your partner. You want it to start out on a good foundation. You don't want to feel like you have to keep up a persona or something that's going to exhaust you because it's not authentic. That eventually wears out, and it's deceiving. I know I wouldn't want somebody to show me something that they're not. I want somebody to be real with me. People tend to respect that, and that's attractive. There's an attractive energy about somebody that is just truly being themselves. I know for me, sometimes in my head, I would ask myself, am I doing enough to keep their attention? And that is just the wrong focus. The wrong focus. I should have been asking myself, how do I feel around them? Do they align with my values? Are their behaviors something that I want in my life? Are their actions something that I respect, that I could be proud? Or are their actions something that would ultimately embarrass me? Or just those type of questions. It's really just about, don't abandon yourself. Value what you value. Honor it. You shouldn't, yes, maybe in relationships there are a certain level of like sacrifices, little things like maybe you give up the type of takeout food that you order that night, or maybe you sacrifice, some of your TV time to do something that they want to do, or whatever it is. That's different than sacrificing your actual core values or beliefs or wants, needs, desires, the stuff that makes you who you are, the stuff that is just really important to you. Like if you value honesty, authenticity, like those things shouldn't be sacrificed. If you value real connection, like I do, or empathy or compassion or hard work, like a hard work ethic, whatever it might be. And don't judge yourself for what you value. What you value is perfectly fine. And all of us, it's a little bit different. So I was just listing mine. Yours will be different, and that is fine. And let the right person respect that. Let the right person appreciate that, because not everybody is right for us. And trying to mold and change and force something because we have this idea of something that we want and we're trying to fit into it ultimately leads us to heartbreak. And I know this firsthand many, many times. And so next, after you really understand these, you have to understand that it goes both ways in the relationship. So if you're not both respecting the values and they aren't valuing the things that you value, then you have to allow yourself and be strong enough to let it be a no. Let it be that they just aren't right for your life. And let that be okay. Let yourself say no. This isn't going to work for me. No, this is not the type of relationship that I'm willing to have, because I ultimately want someone that is aligned with me. And that's not being mean. That's not being anything but honest and true to yourself. And the right person you will find. We're not here to settle. We're not here to try to force something. We're here to find the person that really matches with you, so that it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like you're sacrificing anything. And it's better to figure out this early on than after you're married with kids for years and you realize that you're unhappy. It's much more difficult than when you're first starting out. We always, there's less attachments and strings and stuff when you're first starting out. So if you're really clear about all of this stuff and you do your part at the beginning, then you did your part and you know that you did the right thing, and hopefully they're a good person and will honor that. Another part of this process that I've been working on is changing the mindset of putting this person that you are interested in like on a pedestal. It's not about being chosen or earning their love. We're already worthy of love. And we should ultimately be giving it to ourselves automatically, which is something that is a part of it for sure. But instead of looking at them as we have to earn it or we want to be chosen, that's kind of where those unhealthy tendencies come from with someone that is codependent. We just lose ourselves. We make it like we aren't worthy and we have to earn it. It should just happen organically. And we shouldn't be forcing and sacrificing to fit in. So be vulnerable. Express what you need, want. See how they reciprocate that. See if they are okay with that. Because that's important. They have to also be willing. And then watch their behaviors. Do they, over time, do their actions match their words? Do they continue to respect your values? Because anybody can say anything they want, but you'll know by their actions. And believe someone's actions. Actions speak so much louder than words. I can't emphasize that. Trust someone's behaviors. Trust who they show you that they are. I wish I had known that when I was younger. Because it becomes a slippery slope when you start to let little things slide. Oh, they were messaging their ex. Maybe I'll just let it go this time because I don't really want to start anything. Oh, well, now they're drinking a little too much. Well, they don't do it all the time, so I guess I'll just let it go because they say that, that's not really that important to them and they don't need it. Okay, well, now they're belittling me and now they're disrespecting me. Oh, but they don't do it every single day. Oh, and well, they did come back and apologize. See how this is, it adds up. Sometimes if we don't trust how someone's acting, we'll let little stuff go. And then it adds up. And then look at how that list just keeps accumulating if you keep kind of letting little things slide. Eventually, you get to a point where there's no respect, no trust, and they're being harmful to you. And then you realize that they're not the person that they were at all. And so next you have to understand that you are a different version of you every moment. It's fluid. We don't have to stay stuck and rigid in the labels that we've given ourselves or the labels that somebody else has given us. We can choose to be a different version of us. We can choose that. I want you to really hear that. You can choose to be whatever version of you want in any moment. You can start right now to live by the values that you understand are really important to you. You can start that immediately and just start living in alignment with those values. You will start to feel better. It feels so much better when you're authentic to yourself. You have so much more confidence. It builds self-trust. And you'll just put off a different energy. And people will trust that more. So that was huge too. That's a huge step in this process. It's a huge part of it. It's just even understanding that you can change, that you can choose to be how you want to be, that we do not have to stay stuck in the same person that we were in our teens. We can change. We can shift that mindset. And lastly, another part of this process that I've been working on that is huge to help you deal with codependency, help manage it, hopefully help lessen it, heal it, or even just if you're someone that loses yourself in the relationship. So everything I've talked about so far, now you just have to trust that the universe is on your side. Trust that the universe has your back and is working for you. And let go of the how. How is it going to happen? Let go of the when. The timing will work out perfectly for you. You just have to let go of that need to know when. And just sit back and trust. Live by your values. Live by what is important to you. And let that person come in your life when it's time. The universe is on your side. Let go of the need of control of when and how. And there's an energy with that is much more relaxing and calm, because ultimately we can't control the timing of things. So when you don't focus on it as much, you kind of take a weight off your shoulders. Don't worry about the time. Trust that it will happen when it's meant to happen. This is the process I've been working on. I know that I'm feeling much better. I think it can help many of you. Just be patient with yourself. Be compassionate and get really clear. Get really clear with yourself and clear with people in your life. The romantic partner that you're looking to be with. Or you could take some of this process and even apply it to other relationships in your life, absolutely. Thank you guys. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you next time.